All right, I see you, StreamYard. You got now I can do in a dark view and I could click over here and get a new screen. And if I upgrade, I can have comments rolling across my screen and shit. Okay, StreamYard. Maybe that's why you wasn't working properly yesterday because you had to do all these updates. I got you. Anyway, y'all. Um, Artificial intelligence and fear mongering, right? So AI, as it's called, some people don't want to deal with it. Some people don't want to even fuck with it. Some people don't even like the AIs. This is what, the future will look like type shit. And the thing is, I have learned a lot of things, tremendous things. And I have been doing really good with my master classes. I just finished Issa Rae's master class, which I have to like go back and watch again. I don't really need to, what's so funny? I don't even need to watch it again. Because again, I am like, am I advanced or intermediate as a I'm very advanced as a writer. I am intermediate as a screenwriter, right? When I say a writer, I mean like a novelist writer, but I'm a I'm in, intermediate as a screenwriter. And so it's still all the same principles of writing, no matter what. It's just that with screenwriting, you have to show more than anything. You have to show. You have to be very good at showing. And it's actually to me, I'm like, I should have. This is something that I looked at for a while, but never really did. I was just like incorporated it with the novel writing. But anyway, I learned about that. I learned I have this one Michael Lewis class that I was just peeping at just earlier. And then I have other classes I've taken. And then there's a lot of music stuff. So I got time to look at a lot of stuff as well as get my read on, my own personal reading going on and studying going on as well. While I got time to do all this. And I learned about AI. I learned how to use ChatGTP and other AI formats, how to format it, how to program it. Now, I don't know if my show yesterday streamed or not. I just know it turned off, and I'll express it again that I have always years ago. I'll give it back 2017 ish. I was like, hey, I want an app to be created. I want an app to be like my personal assistant, so I can just it can remember everything for me. It can write some things for me. It could talk to me, just like how the movie Her was. And some people was like, well, there's already apps like that, blah, 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 blah. And I would be like, no, 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 no. Not in the way that I want it to be. This is not it. ChatGTP is the exact vision of what I was speaking of. And on top of that, I learned how to program, like create your own little program, title it and program it to what you want the program to be. So if you want this program or this particular GPT, as it's called, I never really got into what the code of the cat your GPT means. Actually, I will have to look that up. But it's called the GPT little program where you can title it and you can give it a purpose. So let's say you have a GPT that you create for etymology in the dictionary. You write out exactly this, you will, I usually say act as, and that works too. But they were showing it saying you will be a dictionary, etymology, you will do this for me. And when I ask for this, You also get into further details. You will be like the dictionary of this, that, and the third. You will act as a historian. They didn't use the word act. I'm using the word act. You'll act as a historian such as, and get into the detail. So you have to get into the meat and bones of exactly you want your AI program GPT to do what you want it to do. You create it, and then you can make it either public for other people to use it, or you can have it private or unlisted. Private for yourself, or unlisted, meaning that if somebody else wants to use it, you can drop them the link. And so the thing is, when I think about it all, right? When I think about it all, I'm like, that's pretty fucking dope. Because some people were like, I don't know if I want to make this public because I don't know how accurate it is. They also talked about the hallucinations. Hallucinations means that the AI, is not giving factual information. Um, I will tell you when hallucinations happen. Hallucinations happen more so in the GPT when it comes to astrological charts and alignments and stuff. If you're like, give me this person's astrological chart, that's when the hallucinations will start, because then you'll look and you'll be like, what the hell is this? This is not accurate. So when it comes to anything astrology, tarot is actually not bad. I got mine pretty programmed good with tarot, right? But the astrological aspect is you're gonna have to tweak it a little bit more tighter. May have to say, I want you to be as this person who practiced, astrologer like this person, or this person, the astrologer who's real good at what is that, aspects, planets, alignments. You might have to actually get authors and books and to kind of tweak it a little bit tighter. But the key point is that the AI is tweaked tighter. And y'all know where I'm going with this. It made me think about also the Sims, the little AI people, as I call them. And then it made me think about uh, the whole aspect of how do I say this, of ourselves, how we are programmed. What, like, if you were to sit down with yourself, how are you programmed in the AI system? Would your information be accurate? Would you be flippy floppy or back and forth? Would you be an AI that's a liar, a deceiver, a manipulator? Would you be, you get what I'm saying? Like, it made me think about things on a much tighter level, like as far as ourselves and us being AI people in our own way. They did address the fear mongering part of people feeling like what the future is going to be, and what people were feeling like about jobs being taken away and shit like that. And they addressed it, and how it was addressed was pretty much like, first of all, you just don't know what the future holds. And I kind of beg to differ. Like, if you pay attention to patterns close enough, you can pretty much see what the future holds, because the future will be right in your face. And there's a lot of times the future has been right in my face, and I'm like, damn, I remember this from such and such time, and so it depends on who you are. But I can't say that, saying that, AI is going to take over the job world and stuff. Honestly, if people haven't been paying attention for the past years, technology is going to get advanced and jobs are going to be replaced. I mean, that's just something that is just going to happen, unless you live in a town or a place where they're behind time, or they still have to do things the way that they do it. And you can still, Other than that, for those of us who have lived our lives in big cities, you should be wise enough to know how many times in the city have we were the first ones that did self checkout. We were the first ones that saw the McDonald's kiosk. We will get to McDonald's in a minute. We were the first ones that saw that we can get things tech, just by a push of a button and just going up here and paying for it with a ticket. Us big city people, we have been seeing that for years. It's people who don't come from places like that. They don't understand that type of life. They don't understand. They get afraid when it's not what they're used to because of their small town mindset. So I just don't understand. And a lot of times these computers, they break down, these machines, they break down, especially if you are in the world of factory work. Machines break down. I mean, I was witnessing it yesterday. That bitch break down, something's not right. There still needs to be a human to operate something because the AI has to be programmed in order for the AI to work. Some people say, well, what happens if the AI becomes smarter than you? Okay. Okay, what if it's you want your AI to be smart? I don't understand. I mean, you have iRobot and all these different type of things, but like, come on, people, be for real. Human beings is going to destroy each other before damn robots will. Yeah, yeah. I mean, come on, we're at the age where we should know this already. And as I learned about artificial intelligence, I also learned about the creative aspect of it, and it's just so amazing. It's just so like wow. I loved it. I watched a guy just work this app that he was creating, and I don't know if it was real or not, but he was working this app. It was like an app to see your sleep schedule or something, and when you're on the airplane or something like that, you can watch your sleep schedule or something like that. I don't remember, but he had did the logo, and then he had the AI did the logo for him. The AI did the pictures for him. The AI did all that. But that's not it. I saw what he had to go to in order to have the AI do that. Because there's times I try to get the AI to do something, and I was just like, well, why is it not working? You just did it before. What happened? So he showed me the importance of sticking to topic programming or whatever to get, excuse me, to get the AI to work, to get the AI to work for you. As the AI gets to learn you, your writing skills and everything, the AI knows you. For example, it stores a lot of memory. Even when I erased and cleaned out my AI, it still stored a lot of memory because it remembered one of my characters' names. Like it literally spelled it out and all, like it remembered my character's name. And I was like, oh shit, you remember that name. And so it becomes like, again, your personal assistant. If again, I think it's dope. I mean, for us who are creatives, who are writers, who are artists, who are all of these things, who have a business, entrepreneurs, ChatGTP is a shit for us. ChatGTP is everything for us, especially for us that are writers, because now we have these AI systems. It doesn't have to just be ChatGTP, but there's AI systems where we can get on their programs and we can really write and plot and story and conflict. We have something in the palm of our hands that can help us. And I'm going to tell you something, okay? There is a spiritual aspect to this shit. It really is. Like you really do, you're quantum leaping and manifesting what it is that you want through this AI system. When I watched the guy create what he wanted to create, and then I saw him edit, I did not know you can do that. I saw him, overlay the picture and say, I want this person to have a certain look and certain ethnicity and certain hairstyle. And they changed all the characters just from that. And I said, oh shit, okay. I didn't know I could do that. I was wondering why when I clicked on the picture it had this extra stuff, but I never paid it no attention. So I learned a lot just from just watching that. And then the lady was like, her projects and this, that, and the third, and using AI. Now, on the other hand, I know a lot of you may ask, well, what about when you get a job and they can pick up that you use the AI and this and that? Well, you have to still learn how to still have your own authentic voice while using AI as an aid. Now, if if you use AI as your personal assistant to do your posts, a lot of times you're pre-posting, so AI is just working off of what it is that you tell it to do. So that's the thing. You're telling it what to do. You're telling it what to say. You're telling it what you want it to formulate and all of that. And it's your choice to go behind what it says, still add your own words, and just say grammar check it, or put punctuations, or do this and that. So you still can have your own voice. As writers and creators, we forbid anything when it comes to our writing, that anything, especially like a chat GTP or a damn anything AI system, is taking over what our writing is. We don't want that. We want our writing to be absolutely original. And whatever it is that we create, we want it to be original from ourselves. We just don't care to just have AI do the work. It feels like cheating. It's equivalent to us having some kind of ghostwriter, and we don't want that as creatives. I'm just saying. Like, let's get to McDonald's, by the way. Um, if anybody remembers the story of McDonald's, since we're talking about AI, I had I don't know if you remember that one chick. She's always told the story about how she worked for the kiosk in the parts or whatever that they were making for McDonald's, right? Before it actually became a thing. But I remember something. It was years ago. I want to say 2008, 2009 time. It was early 2000 time. And what had happened was it was a strike at McDonald's, and it started with the people in Manhattan. And I remember they were stating, because if you live in a city, if you live in Manhattan, everybody else making minimum wage, but you could make up to goddamn uh $12 or more working for McDonald's in the city. Okay. And everybody knew that, right? So there was a strike about the payment and differences or whatever the case may be, because people got put on like, oh, wait a fucking minute, are you kidding me? Like, they're getting paid way more than me. Yeah. So when they had this strike and all this stuff with McDonald's, that was the same time that McDonald's put those kiosks in the stores. That was the same time that you can walk into McDonald's and was like one little kiosk, two maybe, and you can create and make your sandwich. You know what I'm saying? Make your sandwich. And you know how McDonald's is. Make your order and go on your way. Go to the register on your way. But now, if you notice, it's completely like that. And it's completely like that in a lot of fast food places. Again, those of us in the big city understood us. Those of us who lived in an area, especially up there, you Baltimore, Maryland people, Delaware people, Pennsylvania people, because y'all are that in between spot, when you're driving in and people are taking their trip all the way up to upstate New York somewhere, or somewhere New Jersey, or somewhere to take some kind of, or like I said, Pennsylvania, somewhere to take that vacay. You understand? Y'all were that pit stop. Y'all are that pit stop, actually. And so therefore, y'all had all this electronic kiosks and stuff like that. So this was the AI that was created for the purpose of ordering food and putting the orders in the back for the people to make the order as you're giving the order, so that you can have your food ready at a very consistent time. instead of going to the register to make your order and then having to wait while you can just be the order can come through as you make your order. What I'm saying is, when you work a fast food job, when somebody's on that register and they're making the order, the people in the back can already see the order being made while you're making the order. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not like you make the order and then boom, it comes across the screen. No, as you make the order, they can see the order on the screen. Even if you change it to pickles, fries, whatever, if you still have a hamburger out, they can still drop that hamburger. You see what I'm saying? And even if you just say a hot dog, the hamburger, the hot dogs, y'all get what I'm saying. So the AI was working for the people in the back. You see, we had artificial intelligence in our face. What happened is we also had artificial intelligence on our phone. It's like people was like, well, remember they called it the smartphone, right? Or the iPhone. It's all the same. And I know an iPhone and a smartphone is not the same. I'm talking about as far as what I'm talking about in topic. Okay. So therefore you had this phone and you talk about something and you talk about Snickers, and the next thing you know, you see a Snicker ad you see Snicker ad or Snickers on sale in your local grocery store. And you would be like, what the fuck? I was just on the phone with my friend talking about Snickers. I was just on the phone with my friend talking about goddamn Holly Berry or somebody, right? Or Issa Rae, right? And now they're across my phone. That was all artificial intelligence. And then we learned about the algorithm. The algorithm thing actually is fairly new. It was TikTok who gave more recognition to the algorithm. And so therefore, and the reason why I say that, because when I learned about algorithm, I was able to tweak my socials way better. And so when you learned about the algorithm, you was like, oh, okay, I can make a channel that's solely based off of cooking and recipes and the arts of cooking and culinary history. And I can make this channel right here about a significant style of cooking, such as idol cooking or the way that the rosters cook. Or I could take this channel, and this channel can just be my history channel. And I just read and I study and I watch a lot of stuff on history. So that's what the algorithm did. And if you saw something that was off algorithm, like, I don't know, some LA riot or something, and you go, wait a minute, this is gonna fuck up my algorithm. Not interested or block. You know what I'm saying? So we got introduced to the algorithm. So then what happened is then we got introduced to what? AI, Chat GTP. And it was like, this is how you can do it. This is what you can look up. This is what you can program. This is this and that. And then so people was doing it out of fun, and then start realizing like, oh, hold up, wait a minute. There's something to this. There's some truth to this. Reading history about this. Wait a minute. I'm learning about that we're not just human on this planet, but I'm learning about the other life and what it was called before we were walking around erect and we were on all fours. Now, for people like me, reading information like that is always like, to see that on ChatGPT is like, whoa, I have books that I have read about this shit. Books that I didn't think anybody took serious about this shit. And it begins to talk about the different names of the people and this, that, and the third. And I said, oh shit, this person said this. And then you can start asking them about people. She can start asking them about yourself. And you can keep going on and on and on. And then as time went on with AI, it was like, oh, I can now, as a writer, there's a writing AI GPT. There's a science GPT. There's a chemistry GPT. There's a fashion GPT. Oh, I can generate images. Oh, there's AI art. And it goes on and on and on. So we have already had all of this stuff in our face and prepared for us. So all the fear mongering is just not necessary, because even when kiosk and all that stuff was coming, everybody was losing their goddamn mind. And I'm just like, but we're it's especially if you're a millennial, we always had technology and new advanced technology in our face. We are the technology kids. We are the technology and gadget kids. So if anything, if you're a millennial, you should definitely be used to this. Understand boomers and Gen X's and them, yeah, but for us, we should be used to this. And then on top of that, understand another thing too, people, is these people who have these robots, which I find cool because I'm intrigued by stuff like that. And these robots say some shit that can scare people about taking over the world and all this kind of shit. Motherfucker, you could take a hammer and bash that shit. And what the fuck they gonna take over? Come on, like come on, man. Like y'all really, and then on top of that, you got to look at the person creating the robot that's talking about dominating the world and the people. That's the motherfucker. It's the Frankenstein of it. It ain't the robot that's the issue. It's the person created it, because it's an AI that is programmed to the person that created it. We become our own Frankenstein. Like I said, there's a GPT way that you can click out and configure your own GPT that you can make public, private, or unlisted. And I was like, oh shit, that's what's up. But knowing me, I'm going to make it for myself, for what I need it for my writing, for my characters. You see, this is character this, and this character lives here. This is what it looks like. And let me put an image up and could program the whole the whole GPT to understand, hey, this is how it works here. And this is how these characters play out here, here, and here. You see what I'm saying? And so when I go back to it, I can ask questions. We can plot twist. We can go back into, because a lot of times as a writer, we're told to make a story Bible. And a story Bible means that you just have to, it's for memory. I agree with one writer. She said it's really just for your memory, because you can forget some shit as a writer. Believe it or not, you have to make sure you have those storylines tight, especially when it comes to how people connect with each other and family relations. You will forget. And so now with this GPT, I can program the whole thing to remember everything. Do you remember who's related to who and what the family line is? Especially when you're making a series, you definitely need to have a memory. Like, I'm looking at the Shy and I'm just like, whew, it's about to get deep, because now Keisha had a baby and now Emmett children is growing up, right? And now Jay has cancer, who is his mother, and how is this going to play out? And Jay's dating, and Jay has his boyfriend, and oh, this was Coogie's family, and Brandon really didn't have any children, but then you have Laverne, and then you have the girlfriend. Well, what happened to the girlfriend? And see, it's all of these different kind of things that uh that play a part in being a creator. And so making the GPT, right, I will have to put all of that. So basically, the GPT will be my story Bible for said story. Do you see how it works? And so again, you have to program it. What do I do? You will be the story Bible. You will remember this and that. You will help me plot. You will help me do this. You will plot like the book, this, that, and this book, this book. They have books. Chat GTP will know a book that you are talking about. Chat GTP can probably go into the chapters of the book. You just have to know how to ask it and program it. Again, I know I'm talking about Chat GTP. I know there's so many AIs out there. I'm aware, but Chat GTP is like the number one. And I learned to do so much more with Chat GTP. And I would see these other GPTs and I'm just like, oh, do I have to pay for this? But I didn't realize that these were add-on systems to get the job more done for you.
than just working with chat GTP. So if you go to a GPT history, or Black history GPT, or Chinese history GPT, or Caribbean history GPT, once I begin to hone in, that whole GPT is programmed to tell me Caribbean history, Asian history, Black history. It's programmed to do that. So therefore, once I go in there and I ask this question, it doesn't put the regular GPT that I have programmed in a position to try to find me the answer, while I have something that someone else programmed with the purpose of what the said topic is that can make it easier. It's no different than if I go to the library and I pick up a history book and I open up that book and this is the author's name and I open up the book and that's the author. That's exactly what you become. You become the author of your Frankenstein, which is Chat GTP or your GTP, okay, that you've created. So this goes again to those of you who are creative and artists. There's no better time than to be an artist and creative than now. There's no better time to be a writer or a filmographer, a director, a co-producer, producer than now. There is a plethora of people. Just I mean, again, this is my algorithm that it's like, hey, this I I worked in Hollywood. This is my name. You can Google me. You can IMDb me everything. And this is what I've learned about professional film in Hollywood. This is what I learned about making a good documentary, how to film it. And you can have that at the palm of your hands for not even $50. Not even $50 to take a course, unless you decide to take a full course, then you pay what you pay. But it'd be so worth it. At the end of the day, it'd be so, even just a bit of the samples and everything they give you, it'd be so worth it. But you have to be in tune with the times and take advantage of what the times are in order to understand that. You have to be in tune with understanding that it's just the whole thing with that, with the Chat GTP or just any AI system, Jammable. There's an AI system for writers to tell your stories and stuff like that. Wix now has the AI system in it now. You see what I'm saying? Everything has an AI system. And so if you don't understand, like I said, for creatives, this is for you. For intellectuals, this is for you. The mundane motherfuckers of the world, I don't care for them. Why should I? But creatives, I mean, take advantage as much as you can take advantage. All of this other stuff is a waste of time. It doesn't matter. It ain't even worth your entertainment. I understand the LA riots are going on, and I have a friend in LA, and I'm like, hey, friend, are you okay over there? And they told me, oh, we just a lot of helicopters and stuff flying over and stuff, but I'm okay. I'm like, okay, cool. But other than that, I'm not in LA. I'm not out there. I don't I don't have nobody rioting and looting over here, So it's not anything that is in my radar. And I'm glad it's not in my radar because I kind of feel for people who have to wake up every day and that's in their radar. You know what I'm saying? Like they probably have to lock their doors or be mindful or it's just or it just be even if nobody's gonna bother them it's still bothersome to have all that noise outside in front of your door like that, Um another thing. Another thing. It, I mean, I can't tell you how to entertain yourself. I really can't. I have somebody I listen to, like right now, she was on the looting in LA, and she talks about a lot of different things, and I like the way what she talks about, but it's not nothing that takes up my time. I'm putting more of my time into all the things that fulfill me and all the things that I like to do. And speaking of algorithm, yesterday I had met someone, and the lady was like, you know, how much she's reading. And she was like, she just got tired of romance. So she got into thrillers and mystery and stuff like that. And she was telling me about one of the books. And when she said the author's name, I was like, oh, yeah, I know that author's name. And I said, that's somebody from Book Talk. I knew for sure that that was an author from Book Talk, or the book was from Book Talk. And she was saying that the series had like 13 books or something like that. And I was like, yeah, that's a Book Talk thing. And the thing is, she was an avid reader. And I was like, oh, of course I'm going to attract somebody that's an avid reader because I'm a fucking writer. See what I'm saying? So it's those type of algorithms and things that can happen and unfold in your life that's going to keep happening. I even said to myself, I was like, wait a minute, these people I have around me, I need to utilize them. I need to utilize them to read my stuff when I finish with it, or utilize them to look at things and ask them what do they think about it and this, that, and the third. I need to utilize the people around me, not utilize the people around me, because I understand now, like my mind is shifting into a different space. Okay. My mind is starting to see things as collabing, as learning, as looking at the people in front of me, right? As someone who's like, wait a minute, this person reads a lot. Let me see what genre they read, okay? And this person goes to this place to read. Well, let me go to this place and see what kind of books are at this place, or what kind of genre books. You see what I'm saying? What kind of storylines is going on here? So now I'm starting to pay attention to my environment and what everybody in the environment is interested in. This is something I did not do before as I should have, you see. Just like when I first started the boutique, I did not think to make the boutique based around the people at the beach. See what I'm saying? I didn't do that. I didn't do that. And so when somebody did make a boutique for the people at the beach or in the beach theme area, I was like, oh fuck, that makes so much more fucking sense to make a boutique like that. But we live and we learn, right? Because I was still young. I was in my 20s. Shit, we live, we learn. And so it's all of these things that adds up. The way you can have all these things in your life to line up to you is when you stay in your own algorithm. Artificial intelligence is the beautiful thing. It was coming regardless. It was in our face that it was coming through the movie Her, through iRobot, through goddamn whatever movie that we watched where there was robots and people talking to machines and stuff like that. We had movies back in the 80s like that, you know, probably even before that. But the point is, you have to learn how to spruce up the algorithm of your artificial intelligence. I mean, the word, just the word intelligence, we know already. America is an anti-intelligent space. America is just against anything that is advancing for the mind or for the people. America just does that. Anybody who knows, you know. And it's like half of you don't even read. So what do I even care what y'all have to say about artificial intelligence? Like many of y'all, if you don't read, then that means you're not a thinker. And that means that you're not going to get on Chat GTP and be like, hey, where did human life really start from? Hey, what book is older than the Bible? You're not going to have that kind of mindset because you already do not read. You already do not engage with anything that is a hobby or anything to advance yourself. And the only time you're picking up a book is because you're going to school or college or something in some course. And that's crazy to me. That's crazy. And again, what I told you about success is all a mind thing and a lifestyle thing. It's most successful people are avid readers. That's a fact. There's a principle to everybody who's successful. There's an obsession, not a passion, an obsession with what they do. They have their own hobbies and routines that they keep, and they be consistent with those. Consistency is another one. These are all keys to success. Anyway, y'all, I'm about to group out once again, so I'm about to cut it off here. And I might come back around. I do not know. But other than that, man, I'm out of here. Thanks for tuning in. I'm liking the upgrade, StreamYard. I ain't gonna hold you, StreamYard. Looking pretty